Star Wars The Last Jedi. I said in the Force Awakens review that I, like many, was not expecting another episode of Star Wars, and I really wasn't expecting it to be good, be relevant, and for it to kickstart such a fantastic new franchise. And I say new because this is going to be new for a lot of people, and I think you have to bear that in mind when you are critiquing or even just watching the new episodes of Star Wars. The Last Jedi is inevitably going to be a very, very divisive movie. It is the middle movie of a trilogy. It is the transitional period for this series. And I think for that reason, there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie that a lot of people aren't going to like. And I've spoken to a good group of people before I get into my own critique. One person absolutely adores it. Another is just okay with it, thinks it's fine. And another outright fucking hates it. So that just shows that it's an incredibly divisive movie, and I appreciate that when it comes to films. Personally, I had very little expectations of this movie because I know that it's saying goodbye to the old and welcoming in the new, which is why we have old characters who are slowly moving out of the franchise and we have new characters coming in. It makes sense and it's very organic. It's obvious that a lot of our favourite characters from The Force Awakens are returning here, so I don't need to go through the whole list. Everybody's in it, everybody's back, and of course we have the inclusion now of Luke Skywalker, played brilliantly by Mark Hamill in this movie. I am going to stay away from plot details in this film, but I will say there is a section in the middle between Finn and a new character called Rose, which was kind of unnecessary. It does slow the movie down, and it feels like it doesn't really do much for the film. It is an incredibly well-made movie. First and foremost, from the ground up, it is incredible. The costume design, the creature design, the visual effects, the score. John Williams' score is even better in this movie than it was in The Force Awakens. The fucking cinematography, everything is fantastic. The characters are great again. The performances are wonderful. And Rian Johnson, who both wrote and directed this movie, decided to go in some directions that perhaps in less capable hands would have been very cheesy, very ham-fisted, maybe on the nose. But with Rian Johnson, it's so kind of subtle and it's believable. And there are certain things where you've got these characters who are questioning their morality, questioning what side they should be on. And that's an important aspect of this movie. And another really, really important aspect of this movie is failure. The concept of failure is repeated throughout this film, and it becomes a real life lesson for every character in the movie, I would say. Also have Luke Skywalker reflecting on hubris and the vanity of the Jedi religion. And all that stuff is really, really interesting, and I loved all the interaction between Rey and Luke. They were some of the best scenes in the movie. Also, again, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren just knocks it out the park. He is an incredible actor playing an incredibly complex character and making it seem effortless. He seems just so at home, at peace with this character, like he's gone away and crafted this character and he knows this character inside and out, and I love those aspects. And speaking about Kylo Ren, you've got some incredible lightsaber sequences in this movie that are shot to perfection. It's something that's been mentioned in a lot of reviews now, but I personally absolutely adore wide shots so you can see the full body character using their lightsaber. It's fantastic. There are some scenes with Leia which were wonderful, but actually quite difficult to watch, knowing that Carrie Fisher died, sadly, shortly after making this film. There are some scenes that a lot of fans are questioning and shaking their heads or scratching their heads at. Personally, I liked everything they did with Leia. I like everything they did with the Force. And I think that perhaps people are being far too critical of the aspects they don't like of this movie. In short, I absolutely adored The Last Jedi. I do think seeing it a second time helped me make my mind up and also helped me understand certain things about the film itself. There are things I don't like about it, and I've briefly touched on it. It's mainly the Finn and Rose stuff. It just feels a little out of place. I think another critic, maybe Chris Stuckman, said it felt kind of like a short. It does. It kind of feels like a bonus feature of a Blu-ray. It doesn't necessarily feel part of this movie. So other than the Finn and Rose stuff, I think it's a fantastic movie. It's a great sequel, another great addition to this wonderful Star Wars saga, and I am absolutely going to give Star Wars The Last Jedi an A. If you enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. If you have something to say, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching.